Hello and welcome to our 20-minute conference. We're going to hear on sustainability. We're going to hear from great brands such as CPW, Suntory. We're going to hear about sustainability from industry experts, and we're going to get top tips from retailers, and we're going to do it all in 20 minutes. They say it can't be done. We're about to prove everyone wrong. So if we're going to do this in 20 minutes, we're just going to start. So I'm going to introduce you, first of all, to Julie, who's from CPW, who's going to talk about what they're up to. Julie, I'm bringing you in now. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks, Paul. Nice to join everybody. As Paul says, I'm Julie. I'm the business unit controller for wholesale convenience and out-of-home channels at Cereal Partners UK. And I'm going to spend just a few minutes today to talk to you about our plans and how we focus on sustainability. As a business, when we buy, we incorporate environmental, social and economic impactors into our procurement decisions, but we don't stop there. At CPW, we are really proud of our overarching goal, which is to make breakfast better. And we do this through our three promises. And those three promises are better lives, better food and better planet. Better Lives is as seen with our BPA partnership and our ongoing support of charitable causes such as Magic Breakfast Partnership, Fair Share, working with Family Action, including providing over 2 million free breakfasts nationwide for school children. Better Food is about our ongoing work on reformulation. So with whole grain as our #1 ingredient and 100% of our portfolio being suitable for vegetarians. And on the back of that, we've obviously reduced sugar by actually over 20% and salt by over 25%. So continuously improving over the past few years. And we're now on track to ensure we achieve over 90% of our portfolio to meet the new non-HFSS regulations, which, as I'm sure you're all aware, come in next year. That's another challenge. But today, and finally in line with today's conference, it's about our promise of better planet. So this promise has led us to look internally, to change, invigorate and renovate our sustainability programme, focusing on many areas of our business. But there are actually three that I'd really like to highlight today. Firstly, it's about the bees. Everybody knows the importance of bees and how they're currently facing challenging times. And here's a relatively unknown fact. I don't know if you guys know this, but bees love purple and mauve, but they cannot see red. Working with the Bee Friendly Trust, we're going to continue to promote the bee health message on pack. We're in our second year of this initiative, and as seen with our Cheerios activation earlier this year, we will continue to ensure that our plans going forward always include ways to give away free packs of bee-friendly seeds, so like sunflowers. Encouraging the nation to get behind supporting the bee health as we do that. And to support this further, we're sponsoring a number of bee-friendly planters. So this is a really great initiative by the Bee Friendly Trust, utilising space in such diverse locations as railway platforms. So maybe as a retailer, if you've got some planters out there near your shop, let's make sure we're having a conversation about putting some bee-friendly seeds in there. Secondly, we're working closely and in partnership with the British farmers to ensure wheat harvesting sustainability. And we will enable this through our regenerative agricultural campaign. Not easy to say. It kicks off later this year, and this will enable farmers to take a regenerative approach to conservation. And this is about focusing on topsoil regeneration and strengthening the health and vitality of farm soil, while at the same time improving both water usage and the ecosystems. So watch this space for more information. Thirdly, and probably really relevant today, is about the work we've done through our Perfect Box project. This was launched earlier this year, and we have proactively looked at our manufacturing principles. And by investing in our production facilities, we have removed air in our packs. Simple as that. And that means we will ship approximately 600 tonne less packaging. And to put that into perspective, that's actually the weight of over 50 double-decker buses. We're also, by doing that, reducing our road miles by over 115,000. That equates to about 200 return trips to Paris. And also in this process, we'll be reducing our CO2 output by over 180 tonne. And for those out there that know about HGV lorries, that's about 18 six-axle HGV lorries. So for us, it's about working with retailers. It's about getting the message to the consumers and making sure we're all on the same message. So our message is very clear. It's the same taste for less waste. And we're proud to say that all our UK sites are zero waste to landfill certified. Thank you very much.
Julie, that's wonderful. Thank you. And thank you for sticking to the exact time. I think in every conference that you've ever been to, there's always like a few bits that you remember more than others. And the thing that we're all going to take is that bees can't see red.
Exactly.
That's
Who knew?
wonderful. No, only you until today, basically. So that's absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. But that was absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Dave. We're now going to introduce Andy. Andy, you're there. Brilliant. Good to see you. Is Matt coming in as well? Matthew Goldsmith.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Joining us as well. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm ready to sort of hand over to you when you're absolutely ready.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Julie. My name is Matt Goldsmith. I head up our wholesale and independent retail channel. And Andy and I are going to take you through, talk you through about our Suntory's progress and sustainability. So Andy, can you stick up the chart? That'd be fantastic. So growing good is at the heart of the Suntory vision. We want to do it to ensure that we grow as a business and we give back to society and leave a positive impact. The bigger we are, the greater our positive impact can be with all the interventions that we make. We all know that natural resources are the foundation of our business, but also our world. We need to make sure our future generations inherit and enjoy a healthier planet. At Suntory, we have clear aims and targets related to using better packaging and reducing waste and emissions, and also respecting water. We are already well on our journey. All our plastic packaging is to be 100% sustainable by 2030, and we want to have zero net emissions by 2050. If we just move on to the next slide. Thanks, Andy. You can see how quickly we are moving on this journey, and you can see how it's affecting our very popular products. So Ribena has actually been made from recycled materials and has been 100% recyclable for 13 years now already. And last year, we even reduced the plastic sleeve and introduced paper straws to our cartons. And Annie will take you through that journey in a minute. We've also redesigned our labels on Lucozade Energy to make them more recycling friendly. And in October, we will make changes to the Lucozade Sport to ensure that it is made from 100% recycled materials and is 100% recyclable. And this will be a huge step in helping our bottles live another life as another bottle. So Andy's going to talk to you about Ribena now.
So as Matt's already alluded to, we've made two massive strides forward with our brand Ribena this year. The first one was our bottle redesign, and the second one was the introduction of the paper straw. So with the move of the plastic sleeve, we reduced the label size by 77%, and that has saved a massive 200 tonnes of plastic. And this is now widely available in trade across all of our flavour formats of Ribena in the 500ml packaging. The reason why we've done this, as Matt said, is to help our bottles come back to life as bottles. So we've ensured that circularity. So now with more of the bottle being transparent, it's easier for it to be made back into a bottle. And we know that plastic is packaging that consumers love. It manufactures efficiently. It's fit for purpose for the recycling industry. Whereas some other packaging, for example, cartons, they're not set up within county councils to be recycled yet. So we know that plastic has a better chance of being recycled. And also where with regards to carbon footprint, plastic only needs to be reheated to 200 degrees, whereas something like aluminium needs to be heated up to 600. So although plastic does have a bad reputation, it's not all bad. We've really made sure that we've communicated these changes to our consumers as well. So the bottle redesign has been communicated even clearer on the bottle, and also as the name frame on the end of our popular TV adverts. And as we say, we were the first brand to launch new paper straws. We tested these with consumers. We know that people don't typically like paper straws, but we've tested this. It's robust at piercing, it's robust at sucking, and it doesn't waste away while you drink through it. And you can see from some of the comments on the side there, Jamie, 8 years, plastic straws are meanie straws, or 90 more with Ribena, we've got paper straws. Just before we finish, I just want to also point out that we at Suntory, we've been working with a progressive retailer, Amit Patel in Derbyshire, on a sustainability project with the Energy Saving Trust. We've made some really small changes in Amit's store that are saving him about £610 a year on his energy bills, which if you were to take that across all of the convenience stores in the UK, this could be a massive saving of 28.3 million. So this really highlighting the importance of progression and not perfection. And we're going to be speaking at an event with Amit in London on August the 19th, and we're going to be looking forward for some retailers to come and share their sustainability promises with us. Thank you.
And on a personal note, I'm proud to work for Suntory and how we're leading the change. Thank you.
Wonderfully done. Thank you both. And what's interesting, of course, is it seems like quite small things that you're doing, but with working suppliers like you, actually the numbers that you start talking about, the savings that you make are just absolutely off the chart, aren't they? It's crazy to see. Thank you, guys. I'm going to remove. Don't go anywhere. We're going to hear from Loreta. Loreta, welcome, our sustainability expert.
Thank you. Hello, everyone.
Hello. We've heard from a couple of great suppliers doing great things. What can retailers do? I'm going to leave you in charge.
Thank you. I got a few slides to share just to illustrate my talking points.
Go for it.
Let me get those on. Okay, hello everyone, and thank you to Paul and to CTalk for having me here today. My topic for today is greenhouse gas emissions, because they are everywhere and they are linked to everything that we do as people and businesses. A lot has changed since 2015, when leaders of 193 countries agreed on sustainable development goals and the Paris Climate Agreement was signed. Climate change has moved beyond the point of scientific debate and sprung into the public and government action. As of today, 85% of the UK's population lives in local authorities where climate emergency has been declared, primarily due to pressure from local communities. So convenience stores, as public-facing businesses, have a unique opportunity to be a positive driving force in the local communities, be part of the solution, and future-proof our businesses. Whether you believe climate change has been caused by humans or is a natural evolution of life on Earth is almost irrelevant. There are many things that we can do, and the technology is here already to stop the runaway climate change, to secure a more comfortable and convenient future for ourselves and our children. Okay, if there's anything to take away from today's presentation or talk about carbon footprint and greenhouse gas emissions, it is this slide. The science of greenhouse gas emissions is complex, but luckily, there are only 3 key points that we all must know and remember. Firstly, the excess of greenhouse gas emissions in the atmosphere has been caused by burning fossil fuels and the massive increase of livestock on the planet. Secondly, there are many gases that cause trouble to our planet. For convenience, all greenhouse gas emissions are expressed in CO2 equivalent. And thirdly, the most useful classification of carbon emissions is not about chemistry, but about the ways in which we can control or at least influence their emission. So If we look at Scope 1, we can reduce Scope 1 emissions through energy efficiency measures in our buildings, equipment, and vehicles. And we heard today from Lingyte that they work with retailers to do just that. We can reduce Scope 2 emissions by switching to renewable sources of energy. And we can reduce Scope 3 emissions by creating demand for green and more sustainable products and services, and reducing demand for most carbon-intensive products. Carbon emissions, this is my most favorite slide. Carbon emissions is like money. It's a universal currency that measures climate impact of different activities and business operations. So when we think about carbon emissions and reducing carbon emissions, we can approach it just as we approach our financial plan, our yearly financial plan. We estimate our carbon footprint, we set targets and execute carbon reduction measures, we track, and then we elaborate and set new targets for the next year. There is one more element, and they call it track and tell. It depends whether you like it or not in a different context. Tell your friends, tell your customers, tell your suppliers about your net zero journey so that the effects from your efforts can be multiplied numerous times. So if you're not on a net zero journey yet, where do you start? There are 10 things that you can do today that cost you absolutely nothing, save money, and future-proof your business. And the first one is, of course, increase your carbon literacy and tell everyone you talk to about what you know and share your knowledge. And there are many little things that you can do that would make a big impact. For example, order goods wisely, reduce the number of deliveries and trips to cash and carry, or simply lower or increase the indoor temperature depending on the season by 1.5 degrees. Humans wouldn't feel the difference, but it could make a big difference in terms of carbon emissions. And last but not least is tell your customers that you are on a net zero journey and see what happens next. Thank you very much, and I hope this has been useful.
Loreta, that's wonderful. Thank you. Some much more kind of like some real practical things that people can actually do, which is great to see. I think the first thing is to kind of make a pledge. Just start doing it. That's absolutely the first step, isn't it? We've got somebody else who's going to pop into the studio. Very famous retailer Andrew Thornton. So we're just going to ask him very quickly. He's put together some real some easy wins. Andrew Thornton, what do you see as the easy wins?
Well, the easy wins. Fruit and veg is an easy win. Our customers have loved buying much more loose fruit and veg. Very simple. Bread, putting bread in sort of paper rather than in aerated plastic bags. Another relatively easy win. And then I think you just start looking at your store and see where you can do things that cut out plastic, because your customers will love it. Mine did. I don't see why any customers anywhere around the UK or the world, indeed, would actually, not benefit from doing that.
Amazing. Andrew, thank you for popping. I'm going to bring everyone back. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking part. I mean, I guess a quick conversation. It feels like there's some big things that you guys are doing. So for a retailer point of view, supporting you, stocking what you're producing is certainly something we can do. That's another quick win. But mainly just make the pledge and start doing things a bit better. Guys, thank you so much.
We all agree.
It's been
on mute.
Oh, you are as well. 20 minutes. See, they said it can't be done. It could be done. It's been wonderful.
Thanks.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Paul.
Cheers, Paul. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.